Hello guys, Shop came back and once again shout out video. Who is Ippo's truest rival? Is it Vorg? Is it Miyata? Is it Sendo? Is it the Grim Reaper of Tokyo himself, Ryo Mishima? And I say the answer is a little bit more complicated than it seems. And that is for one simple reason, and that is, in which way we're talking about here. We're just talking about from the surface level, you can say kind of both. Because the whole Sendo thing is a perfect analogy of, well, would a cat want to lose to another cat? Would an infighter want to lose to another infighter? They're similar. Ippo's a close-range infighter, as Sendo fights at medium range and unleashes the smash and combination. It's the perfect rivalry. They're both in the same thing. It's East versus West in Japan. It's excellent. But from that same merit, the natural predator infighter is a counterpuncher with footwork, as in a Miyata. The ultimate predator among the apex predators. They only fight the cream of the crop. So if the natural predator of an infighter is a counter specialist, then Miyata would be the perfect person to be his rival. It's the complete opposite of Ippo in every way. He got a cat, Ippo got a dog. Miyata's hair is more kept up, but Ippo's not. They obviously fight two different ways. So you want to look at a basic fundamental level. Miyata technically is also considered a rival. He just fits the deal. He's everything opposite of Ippo and stands out his own way. And then somebody said, what about Vorg and Mishima? I say out of those two, only Mishima have any credit to be a rival, because Vorg is not a rival to Ippo. He's an, it's hard to explain where I put Vorg, but he's just, I wouldn't say like he's in like direct competition with Ippo. Even in the A-class tournament, he's just in a tournament, which is, I wouldn't consider him a rival. Would be like Ippo is like constantly trying to chase after him, like he's like, I love, like I know how to put it. He's just not a rival. He's just not a rival to Ippo. He's just not. Even if they were still in the same weight class, he's just not. But for Mishima, I don't know. Ever since they both went to go get the boxing license, he was there. At the Takamura first match, they was there. I don't know. The Ippo Mishima thing has been going on for a long time. Even up to the time that Mishima finally got a chance to spar Ippo, that was still in this whole Cold War, and Kumi was just trapped in between them as the negotiator. It's like two warring countries and Kumi's the negotiator. Like, come on, we don't want to use the nuke early, alright? We can still talk about this. Sadly, inside one gym, it was too late for Mr. Makunouchi and Mishima. Even the two of them. And there's now 1v1. Will there ever be a rematch? Who knows? Who knows? But, yeah. There was that whole thing back and forth. Like, Mishima does have some credit to say, he could be a rival. He could be thrown in at a number 3. He could, but it really comes down to the whole big debacle between Miyata and Sendo. Those are the ones where it's just like definitively, where it's just like it could go either way. I wouldn't agree either way if you want to say Miyata is his true rival or Sendo. It does fit the ducket for both of them. How both of them can be rivals, whether they want to live on the surface level or a deeper level. But in my case, as you should already know, my personal true rival for Ippo Makunouchi is Takeshi Sendo. Because I don't think, unlike with Miyata, like Ippo can fight Miyata and the story can go on. But if Ippo was to fight Sendo again, that would be the end of the series. In my dream match, Ippo versus Sendo for Undisputed, it would be magnificent. Magnificent. It'd be the perfect way to wrap this whole thing up. Because the only thing Ippo and Miyata is missing is that one pro match. And even got to the point where Miyata is kind of envious of everybody else who fought Ippo, because it's just like, hey, they also grew up in the same time. They also was developing around the same time period. They both, whether through the boxing license or through like the Rookie King championships, they both like had their careers parallel Ippo. The only difference is Miyata never had a chance to actually fight pro Ippo. Miyata's always been the one left out on the side with the leftovers. He never got his second match or actually got another chance at Ippo. Never did. Unlike a Sendo, unlike a Mishima, it never happened. Never. And all throughout the story, there's just been going back and forth. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And like Sendo just might say it just might not happen at all. I still have hope for the fight between Ippo and Miyata. I just do. I think it's not one of those fights. Cause somebody say, well, you could have well, we could have kind of got it between Itagaki and Amai. Well, that's the thing. Itagaki and Amai isn't Miyata, and Amai isn't Darshan or Ippo. I would say I love Amai. A body force, just pure steel. Amai isn't Ippo, and Amai don't fight like Ippo. He's similar to Ippo. He got a little blunt punch, but he does not fight like Ippo at all. They're fundamentally different. There's a similarity, but a difference. All right. He's bushy brow, and Ippo is caterpillar brow. That's a difference. And same thing with Itagaki and Miyata. They both got some fast hands, but Itagaki arguably have the faster hands, as in consecutive punches back to back, or just in combo. Like Itagaki hands are just outright just criminal. It's like some of that old Sugar Ray Leonard footage. It's just like it should be a crime to be able to punch this man that many times in the face, and he just how is this legal? So that's why you can't say, well, he kind of already did. It's just they fundamentally are not the same. Itagaki is an accounting specialist, and Amai is not an Ippo. He's never built up to be an Ippo. You could say like a pseudo Ippo, but he's never meant to actually be like, well, like a definitive replacement. You want to say we got like a version of how they would have fought in the Rookie King tournament? Yeah. I would say that the Rookie Team tournament match between Amai and Itagaki wasn't that far from reality. It would go something like that if they would have fought at that time period. But then again, Itagaki is not a counter specialist, and the only one-to-one similarity would be Amai. But even then, there's no gazelle punch. There's no that came later. That doesn't count. He did have the little blow, so actually, I might be right. That would be the most accurate rendition of it if it was to happen without going through those two characters. It would be close to that. But then again, it's still Ippo and Miyata. They wouldn't. I don't know. The Ippo Miyata grudge is not like the Itagaki and Amai grudge. It's there, but put it like this: if Ippo and Miyata was to fight again, there'll be an urge. There'll be an unwilling, unbreakable desire to not lose to this guy in any form of fashion. They can't back down. There's no retreat. Somebody must definitely win, just like when they were sparring. Like, technically, Miyata did get his 3 matches. He just never got a chance to fight pro Ippo. He fought Ippo twice, but the first Ippo was a rookie. You can argue if that counts or not. And the second time was, and that was it. He never got his rematch. So, maybe the first trilogy in Ippo, you can argue that. But, they're not the same. They're not the same at all. It's not the same. And it is a better way to put it as the natural predator of the Ippo Monkey Ryuichi, the natural predator of an infighter is in our box. And it's just, like I was saying before, unlike Itagaki, where just like, let me accept your sister. They do have like a back and forth. But with Ippo Miyata, it's just like there's no reasoning with this. They wouldn't need to add any unnecessary stakes. It would just be them, and that's it. Nothing more, nothing less. It would just be that. That would be all it need. And the rematch would not have happened like that. The motivation between the two, the desire to fight each other, to see who's better, to actually prove that all this history will actually mean something. To actually meet in the pro ring, the desire, the unbreakable motivation will be there. Arguably, Amai might be more juiced up to fight Ippo than he would be to fight Itagaki. Because up to that first match, it was like a real heated thing. But that second match, it was all Amai. Amai really wanted to beat Itagaki, but Itagaki didn't really have that same thing. He wanted to win, but he didn't have that, like I said before, like when I made the Amai video, he didn't have that drive, that unbroken, unbridled determination to win at any cost necessary. We're going to drag this out as long as we can. We're going to do this until the finish. We're not backing down. We're not giving up. I wish you would throw in that towel, coach. I'll bite your hand off. We're not throwing in the towel. This ain't happening. This ain't throwing in the towel. We're going to do this. What do you mean you're going to stop? You're not stopping nothing. Okay, that's more or less like, and it's just not there. But like for a Cinder versus Ippo, yeah, Yeah, like, especially with like the perfect example of this when they were sparring is just like, oh, yeah, I got gear you for, yeah, you talked to the coach, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, he must have been talking about Mr. Takamura. But as soon as Sendo hit Ippo that one good time, he was like, yeah, let's do this. And then it got out of hand, and Ippo got put gently into that good night. He was put into a dream. One of the best sleeps he's ever had. He puts Ippo into a fantasy. Never know, got a chance to see how Sendo managed to do it. But all we know is Sendo didn't come out to fight unscathed. But in the end, Amuka Uchi fell down. Amuka Uchi went gently into that good night. I don't know. Because technically it's 1v2. You want to consider that sparring. But even then, that first fight is quite contentious. Technically, Sendo just was knocked unconscious. But, hey. Another round. I really want that Ippo versus Sendo 3 for Undisputed. That's what I want. It'll be everything. And the perfect thing to end off the series on. But for Miyata, the series was to end with a Miyata fight. I wouldn't be mad at that. I wouldn't be upset. I still see them as rivals, but they're rivals for two different reasons. Their motivation, their backing is for two different reasons. Like the spirit and the fighting for Sendo is not the same as for Miyata. There's extra history with Miyata. There's something. I start to explain it. And they both. And also one thing, I won't say one person's rivalry with Ippo is over the other one. I just can't. Because like even if you see like in this current moment, Sendo, Ippo retires, he's pretty good. You just gonna become the face of Japan. Miyata, when Ippo retires, this man is crippled. Like he's upset. Like this is actually affecting his career. The only other person's career who's been affected is Itagaki, and that's because Itagaki, he is what he is. All right, that's undeniable. He is what he is. All right, he is what he is. But like seriously, it's just like I'm like Sendo's like I can move on. Miyata is crippled. Like Miyata has like destroyed. Like Miyata's going through that Joe Ibuki treatment right now. Like he's starving himself just to make weight. And then we don't know what's going on recently with his career. He could have moved up by now. He could have challenged for a world title. No one knows. No one knows until we get to catch it with Mara and Fuji. But it's just either way you go, they both have credibility to be an rival. Because with Borg, it's just there is like if you was to remove, it's hard to explain it. I just can't. Even though they had that good match between each other, they also had a chance to spar and get like a pseudo rematch. It wasn't the same heat. It just was. It wasn't the same like intensity where it's just like you see that desire, that burning rage internally to win. Like it's just like you gotta win. It can't be against anybody. It gotta be against him. The ultimate challenger, the ultimate prey is standing before you right here and now. It's not the same. It's not the same. Even if we bring up the whole sparring thing, besides from Ippo hitting strength, it's just like the intensity. It's like the whole thing with Senna versus Antonio, Alfredo Gonzalez, where it's just like that intensity. It's just something. It's just the heat's not there. It's there for Miyata. It's there for Sendo, and like that's the thing. I can't even say. This is why I just say Misha was just kind of there at the end, because I can't truly consider Misha like a rival to Ippo. He's just not. He could be. He got the fundamentals for it. He got the backstory. He got the multiple matches. He got the desire. But at the end of the day, it's not the same. It's not the same like an Ippo. It's not the same like a Sendo. It's not the same with Miyata, where it's like a drive. It's like a driving force that they must win by any means. It's just like an unkept aside. And I stay. It's like I haven't seen like that spar with Misha and Ippo. Was just like you saw it in his eyes. You saw it in their eyes, where it's just like the frustration, the upset, the desire, the rage, the power pumping through. You saw it in their eyes. Where it's just like, this is the real deal. This is everything. But it wasn't the same. It wasn't. It wasn't. It's there for Mishima. It's there. But it's not like when Ippo and Sendo go at it, where it's or like a Miyata go at it, where it's just like it's everything. It is everything to them. It's just like there's no shadow of a, there's nothing. Nothing. Especially with Ippo and Miata, where it's just like it's back-to-back arc after arc after arc, where it's just been like we're hyping up to Miata versus Ippo. It's everything get delayed. Second time it get delayed. Third time it get delayed, and the fight just don't happen. Like, we're gonna move on. We're gonna go for the championship. It was already explained in the video how that crippled Ippo going into the future, because after he could have fight Miata, that he had no goal. He wasn't really fighting for himself. He wasn't fighting for the championship, in which you could argue why that's one of the reasons why Michiba said he was weak, because after that he had no backbone. He had like no real desire. He's just because like, he was already talking and communicating with Kumi before that, but it was really where it's just like, why you let Sendo beat you up like that, and he's not worse than you. He's just like, he's just like, he's supposed to be like on. It's just like there's no second thought. There's just nothing. It's just you gotta win. It's just not the same. It's not the same. And like I already explained in the video, it's just when Ippo could not fight Miata, it's like his viewpoint on boxing died to a certain degree. Like I said, one of my favorite versions of Ippo is him going against Alfredo Gonzalez. That fight is magnificent. But it's just, no matter how much intensity and heat he had, he just was not the same after the whole viewpoint of fighting Miata died. You know what? My Miata career, when we see Miata in, like, in the 1230s get beat up for nothing. Because he's just like, come on, man, you can do better than that. I just like, he's searching for a desire. He's searching for that Ippo marker Ryuichi, where the worst part about Miata is, he's just like, when Ippo goes away, there is nothing else for Miata. There is nothing. His fundamentals of belief on boxing die. Unlike Sendo. Sendo's just like, it's unfortunate, but hey, I can keep this thing going. Well, like Sendo became friends with Freddy Gonzalez real quick, and they was just punching each other in the face. We was just like, they was actually trying to hurt each other. There is no replacement Ippo for Miata. There's not. There is no, well, there could be a Mishiba, there could be a Vork. That doesn't exist for Miata. There is no secondary character. There is no secondary matchup. Oh, we can say the Jimmy Fisher don't count because he only fought Jimmy once, and Jimmy never saw Jimmy again. It was Jimmy who was chasing Miata, and even then, Ippo put an end to that real quick. So it's just, I don't know. It takes a lot more to be a rival, and it just can't be, well, I want to fight you. There's like a desire, there's a drive, there's a burning internal desire where I can't lose to this guy. I just gotta win. It's like the whole thing with Ippo gotta get up against Sendo. I just can't. No, I refuse. I didn't think things would get this brutal. It was just like, come on, it's just, I refuse. And at that same intensity when Ippo first fought Miata, where it's just like, I want to beat this guy. I want to win. I want to get him. I want to get him bad. I want him bad. I gotta face him. I can't run. I can't duck and dodge. I want to go against this guy. I want to see. It's just like Ippo versus Sendo 2. I want to know what it means to be strong. I want to beat this guy. They both had the intensity, the rage in his eyes. They got the fury in their eyes. Were just like, I want to beat him bad. I want to fight him. Oh boy, it's just one of those things where it's just like, do you gotta be friendly with Ippo? No, because that's not saying merit. Sendo and Miata wouldn't count. Well, Sendo wouldn't count. Miata still at times look at Ippo like he's a creep. But with Sendo, like at this point, they're more or less best of buddies. Like, even before Ippo retired, it was... Then again, you could argue even before that. For that same merit, then how come Vork is not friendly? Because they met before the fight, and there was no friendly terms, and Vork when he was fighting Ippo, it was not like an Ippo versus type thing. It was Ippo got to get out of the way. Yeah, that's just what it was. There was no, like, there was just, like, no caveats. It's just Ippo had to get out of there. But with like a Sendo and Miata, it's just like, it has to be this guy. I have to beat this guy. It's an unburning, unwavering desire to win. Not against just anybody, not to get this guy to wait, but it has to be him. Him. It gotta be Ippo Marker Uchi. It gotta be. And that's why I can say Mishiba kind of has it, but it's not one of those things where it's like a do or die type thing. He's not one of those things. And you can argue, well, also Mishima, but besides Ippo, yes, he has Samomura. Hey, you can argue anything's possible. Samomura can still get back into the ring, right? Come on, guys. We can get him back in the ring. He was changing to be a better person. He was changing. He was influenced by the monk of Ryuichi to be better. But, yeah. So, I don't know, maybe people like see rivals as a stereotypical thing. I'm starting to hate Shonen Jump and how everybody just put everything into a box. I'm sorry, anime's just not Shonen Jump. It's whatever. I'm tired of everybody just following the most popular thing, and we're gonna paint everything else like that. Why? Why can't you just enjoy it? Why you gotta paint every single thing like this one singular thing? It's just like, it just limits every single viewpoint on the story and everything else. I don't care if it's a Shonen Jump or not. I don't care. Let me enjoy the damn story. Damn. But yeah, overall, that's my thoughts and opinions about who is Ippo's true rival. But if you learn anything out of this video, you gotta have that intensity. You gotta have that. It has to be him. And also, I gotta give a shout out to the king of all rivalries. Even up to the point where he died, and he was still a ghost in his dreams. Rikishi Torio, the #1 rival. This man transcends death. He's the only person who has, the rivalry is driven so deep. Even dying, you cannot escape it. Even being a box, even having a gravestone, you just cannot. The intensity is just that hot. Joe is chasing after Ghost, man. Like, it's just, is that the thing I judge all rivalries by? No, it's not. But it's just like, you want to see like a rivalry to where it's actually dangerous. That's a real that's a rivalry where it's detrimental. That's some nasty stuff there. But I don't know if you got thoughts and opinions. Who do you believe that is Ippo's true rival? It can be any of those 4 guys, or just anybody. It could be Samamo Ryuhei, for God's sake. It can be anybody. It could be the old man. It could be Simbrukuro, who was smaller than Ippo. He fought like Ippo. He got the gazelle punch. Well, it could be him, for God's sake. It could be Kurosawa. It could be Sanada. It could be Seiki Kuma, the Speed King himself. It could be AJ Dante. It could be anybody. To me, I want to say like a rival where it's just like it's just, I would like to say Sendo, but you want to talk about like a end of the road. I don't know. It's just, I like to say Sendo, but it's just that I just can't let the Miata thing go. Miata got some credentials. I know you got thoughts of him. BMWK, like, comment, subscribe, and peace.